The Quest 3 is an insanely powerful device. Better graphics, better resolution, mixed reality capabilities, but how is it compared to the industry standards best VR and mixed reality headsets? Well, in this video, we're going to be comparing it to the Quest Pro, the Apple Vision Pro, and the PSVR 2. So let's get into it. Is the Quest 3 better than the Quest Pro? The Quest Pro was Meta's introduction to the mixed reality space. It wasn't perfect by a long shot. It was certainly a much beefier device compared to the Quest 2. The Quest Pro has a resolution of 1800 by 1920. The Quest 3 has a resolution of 2064 by 2208. The Quest Pro has the XR2 Plus chip. The Quest 3 has the XR2 Gen 2 chip. The Quest Pro has a horizontal FOV of 106, and the Quest 3 has a horizontal FOV of 110. The Quest Pro costs $999, and the Quest 3 costs $499. That's all the ways that the Quest 3 is just more superior than the Quest Pro. However, the Quest Pro does deliver unique features that the Quest 3 just can't deliver on. The Quest 3 has 8GB of RAM, and the Quest Pro has 12GB of RAM. The Quest 3 doesn't have face tracking. The Quest 3 doesn't offer 256GB model. The Quest 3 doesn't come with the Quest Pro controllers. Overall, the Quest 3 is a better device. It's just a shame that it doesn't have face tracking features, meaning we can't do interviews like Lex Friedman and Mark Zuck. Is the Quest 3 better than the PSVR 2? At a competitive price point of $500, both the PSVR 2 and the Quest 3 are battling it out for the VR market. It's important to note that the PSVR 2 requires a PlayStation 5, so that already doubles the price point to about $1,000. However, you do get an incredible gaming device outside of the VR usage that you can play on your normal TV. Of course, the Quest 3 being a standalone device, meaning you can play it just by the device itself on your face. But when it comes to the hardware, PlayStation wins by a lot. No standalone Snapdragon chipset will ever be able to compete with the PS5's dedicated graphics card and CPU. AMD Oberon, built on the RDNA 2.0 architecture, delivers 10.3 teraflops. The Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 in the Quest 3 is roughly 1/5 of that at 2.4 teraflops. But it's important to note that if you have a powerful enough PC, you can outperform the PS5's graphics on the Quest 3. If we are just talking about headsets by themselves, then the PSVR 2 wouldn't even work without the PlayStation 5. Now, the Quest 3 does take a dub in actually having higher resolution than the already high resolution on the PSVR 2. The Quest 3 has 2064 by 2208 per eye, compared to the PSVR 2's 2000 by 2040 per eye. Where the PSVR 2 does beat the Quest 3 is in the fact that it uses OLED screens instead of the Quest 3's LCD screens. This makes the OLED's colors more vivid and pop, and makes the blacks way more deep. So how about experiences? PlayStation does have a wide library of games, but Meta has way more exclusives and prominent titles. PSVR 2 does have some incredible exclusives like Horizon Zero Dawn VR, but although that is a 10 out of 10 experience, it's just nothing compared to the Quest 3's massive library. Also, PlayStation not having VR chat on their systems is criminal and an absolute sin to a large majority of the VR community. The controllers are pretty similar, and I guess it just comes down to personal preference, but the Quest 3 does actually have hand tracking, which the PlayStation VR 2 just doesn't have. Another downside to the PSVR 2 is the clunky cable. It breaks the immersion a lot when you're in VR, but it isn't an absolute deal breaker, but just something to note. The last thing we have to discuss is the Quest 3's mixed reality and AR capabilities. PlayStation doesn't offer any sort of mixed reality experience. Mixed reality is fairly new to a lot of developers who haven't owned a HoloLens. It's fairly new to a lot of consumers, and a lot of the games currently for mixed reality feel like tech demos. There's no strong, reliable games available for mixed reality just yet. With time, developers and game studios will take advantage of this, and mixed reality does have so much potential. If the right developers take advantage of these features, I think it's going to be experience that PlayStation is missing out on. And the fact that Apple is getting into the mixed reality or spatial computing market kind of validates the fact that mixed reality is going to be an important part of our future in technology. Overall, both are incredible devices and appeal to two different markets. Actually, I would argue if you had the money, then you wouldn't even be disappointed owning both of these products. You could use both devices for what their strengths are and feel perfectly satisfied on that system, and just go for a specific use case scenario. Is the Quest 3 better than the Apple Vision Pro? Both companies are introducing spatial computing and mixed reality to a whole new audience. But I get asked all of the time, is the Quest 3 better than the Apple Vision Pro? So let's compare the two devices. The Quest 3 has the XR2 Gen 2 chip, and the Apple Vision Pro uses the M2 chip and has its own dedicated R1 chip for sensors and cameras. Now, we haven't had a chance to test the XR2 Gen 2 chip yet, but comparing its benchmarks to the previous Quest Pro's XR2 Plus chip, we can confidently say that it is a great step up in the right direction. Now, I've actually tested the M2 chips completely unrelated to virtual reality or mixed reality. I've played around with MacBooks that have the M2 chips, and I've played around with iPads with the M2 chip, and I can confidently say that the M2 chip is an absolutely powerful beast. It's just hard to compare the two chips when both accurately do their duties in what they're made for. So the Quest 3 has 8GB of RAM, and the Apple Vision Pro is predicted to have 12GB of RAM, but it's unknown as of right now. The Quest 3 has a resolution of 2064 by 2208 per eye, whilst Apple is offering 4K resolution per eye. So Apple takes the win by a huge lead in resolution. The Quest 3 is capable of 120Hz, whilst the Apple Vision Pro is only capable of 90Hz. The Quest 3 uses LCD screens, and the Apple Vision Pro uses micro OLED screens. Apple Vision Pro offers face tracking similar to what we've seen with Quest Pro, something that unfortunately just isn't in the Quest 3. The Apple Vision Pro also has a screen on the front of the device that shows people on the outside whether you are in virtual reality or mixed reality. Now, both devices do have hand tracking. The Apple Vision Pro lacks VR controllers. That will make it incredibly difficult to port any existing VR games over to the Apple Vision Pro, which are two major areas of concern for Apple. Now, you can actually pair your PS5 controller and play games on a large or small virtual screen. However, you can do that on the Quest 3, and you can even stream Xbox Cloud Service directly to your Quest 3. So I think in terms of app and general use for business or entertainment, then Apple absolutely wins. With the Apple ecosystem being able to browse the photos on your phone or your notes, it's just going to be quite seamless for daily tasks or business usage. However, I don't think mixed reality is quite where these companies want it to be yet. Although I do love mixed reality and spatial computing in general, once it's in an easier form factor like the visor, we'll see a lot more casual users moving over to the mixed reality or spatial computing space. I think eventually people are even going to consider replacing their smartphones with smart glasses. So the Quest 3 overall wins as a gaming device, and it is capable of doing a lot of business tasks and other various heavy apps, but compared to Apple, it's just not going to be as efficient or fluent. One thing the Quest 3 does need to do is enable 3D video recording, something that is present in the Apple Vision Pro. But Apple certainly wins when it comes to the consumer base fandom and casual usage for entertainment and business. The huge factor is the price point for people. $499 for the Quest 3 and $3,499 for the Apple Vision Pro. And that's going to be a major icebreaker for a lot of people, especially when the Apple Vision Pro lacks the ability for mass virtual reality experiences. Hopefully that answers some of your questions about the Quest 3. Subscribe for more VR and mixed reality news. We have another video dropping tomorrow, so leave any questions that you have in the comments. I appreciate you, much love, and peace.